how, oh, it's a different slideshow, how the actions that we take to achieve these goals fit within our 4 initiative areas. So, any questions about the format or logistics for how this is going to go down?
Any questions?
Okay, it's pretty simple. We're going to help each other figure it out. And so if we have the other 3 facilitators come pick your ICA/movement.
Iya, yang sudah nak masuk.
Oh yeah. So here is they're getting set up and then like go find a spot in the room and grab some markers and some post-it notes and stuff. Yeah, and like grab some materials there and pick a corner. So I'll just read aloud and kind of generally summarize what each group is about. So Essen's leading the participation working group, which is about that we think that an action that needs to take place within the ICA and within the broader cooperative movement is that we need to employ large group participatory processes. So that's like more directly democratic and actively engaging, yeah, pick a spot, processes. And additionally, to utilize online participation tools to engage cooperative movement members in conversation year-round on topics under consideration by our international, regional, and national federation board of directors. So that's like to ask people what they think outside of every 2 years when we show up to a meeting and then there's a vote, you know? So like we know what vote's coming, we know what conversations are taking place, and getting general input from people around these issues. Also apply consensus building and seeking models and decision-making processes of our ICA, regional, and national federation boards. This would be a proposal essentially to move away from our false model of overly representational democracy. Them's fighting words. Okay. So this is about how to participate in the cooperative movement and how to empower more people to participate. Representation is about how to ensure that people of various backgrounds and experiences are able to participate in our cooperative movement so that we're sufficiently represented within the cooperative movement. So to maintain term limits and gender equity for the boards of the ICA, regional, and national federations, like so people can't sit on the board for 50 years. Adopt a commitment to develop and maintain shared management structures among leadership and executives to avoid the consolidation of power and foster turnover of leadership in perpetuity. So again, so people don't sit around governing or managing and running a cooperative for 50 years. Without sharing power effectively, so they can be there for 50 years, but they're not just the sole person in power. Proactively include youth on the ICA, regional, and national federation boards through statutory seats. We have made some headway here already, and so Gabby will be leading that group. For autonomy, Sebastian is doing this. This is allow for youth organizations to be autonomous at the ICA, regional, and national levels. More specifically, the ICA board should allow the Global Youth Network to decide who and how people can be members of our network. So that's what I referenced this morning about that we've been kind of struggling to get from the ICA board because they want all of our members to be their members. Build out national, regional, and the international co-op youth networks as fully empowered to make change in their respective jurisdictions and to self-organize as an authentically representative and participatory global body of youth cooperativists. So this is to be able to delegate folks to liaise between entities and to appropriate funding throughout the structure. So we have people who are like our national federations, appointing to our regional federations, to our international, etc. So it's a fully delegated structure, power structure. And so that's about having autonomy. So allowing for the youth network essentially to build out and innovate both our practices of democracy and also how we structure ourselves. So say this might lead to innovating the ICA's model, right? Like if we build an international governance structure that's better than the current ICA General Assembly model, maybe we could change it, right? You have to try it first though. And then redistribution. Redistribute the cooperative movement's wealth of resources to support marginalized peoples, including youth, to build autonomous networks and innovate the cooperative sector. This is like mostly about money, but not just money, right? Like we have a lot of wealth within the cooperative movement, but it doesn't always flow equitably throughout the movement space. We have some